Okay, so here, as promised, we're back at this section of the layout that's just beyond the company row houses, which are over here. So to the right, as I stated in the last video, is this access road that goes up to the steel mill. So what I've already done, I kind of cheated, is I've started an access road, which is nothing more than pink foam, pink extruded foam that I've carved and put a gravel road on and tried to blend it in with the backdrop. So because I didn't have any more backdrop left to pull down under the bridge, I had to recreate that road going up the wall, and I used just a piece of masonite, I believe it was, and I did go ahead and put the gravel and some ground foam and tried to come as close as I could from the colors of the backdrop, the dirt area here on the backdrop, and blend it to this area here, as well as the pink foam. So it's a pretty nice start. Also, if you notice, well, you probably didn't because I haven't shown you, but on the backdrop there also is a chain link fence that I'm going to try to extend out also onto this piece of pink foam. So that's one task that needs to be completed. And then also I want to extend the gravel road somewhat. I'm not going to go too far because in this area here along the back side of the tracks, I'm going to put something back there. I'm not sure, but some type of building or something will go there. So I don't want to go too far with extending it, but just enough, at least up until I get to that target signal there. So the other task is I'm going to get closer so you can see all of my mistakes. If you notice between the abutments, which are removable, I've got to fill that in. There's a big gap there, so I've got to fill that in with some type of vegetation. That shouldn't be too difficult. And also these gaps below the retaining walls. Some of it's filled in, but I think as I did more work in this area, some of it has come up. And this area right here to the right was actually an addition that I added with the retaining wall. So we're going to clean that up too. I mean, you can't really see it in the front of the layout. I'm in a pop-up very close to it, but for photographs and video, I want to make sure that that's taken care of. So those are our immediate tasks for this area. But like I said, some of this, the biggest thing, or I would say the major thing, has already been taken care of. Those abutments were something that I made out of some material from, I want to say, one of the local hobby shops. And then I weathered this girder bridge, which is an Atlas girder bridge. And over here, I have this stone arch bridge. I've tried to do my best with coloring it up. I'm not sure if I'm happy with the colors, but for now it's going to do. And I've got to put some guardrails. That Pennsylvania railroad fencing will go on those as well. So that's going to be our task, immediate task for this area. So I'm going on and on. I'm going to go ahead and shut the camera off and see what I can do, and we'll be back. So here's a little glimpse of where I'm at so far with covering up these seams. You see a little bit of lichen as well as some Martin Wellberg products. Just a minute, I'll show you what colors I'm using for that. But got pretty much down the entire retaining wall. Just the section by the bridge still needs to be complete, but this gives you a little glimpse of where I'm at so far. I like how his colors gel together and they work to create a really natural and realistic presentation. So that's where I'm at so far. Just needed to take a break, so I thought this would be a good time to show you where I was at. Well, let me get back to work. Okay, so I told you I would show you what Martin Wellberg products I'm using. I'll start with the one I use the least amount of, and that's this Fall Brown Bushes Type E High, and the product number on that is WB-SEFB. Then I used this type, Moss Green Bushes Type E High, product number WB-SEM. And then the one I use the most of, and actually I've used this around various places on the layout, that's why it's got the least amount, so I'll have to replenish, is the Medium Green Bushes Type E High WB-SEMG. So those were the only three I used, along with the Woodland Scenics Lichen, which I used prior to getting this, so I just intermingle it with this to give more variation. I just love these products. They're easy. You just pull or cut with scissors for the area you need it in and just glue that stuff down. I've used everything from tacky glue. This time I used some of the hot stuff, but it works miracles, and I highly recommend it. All right, here's the other side, the other view of the area around the girder bridge. So I also weathered up one of these relay cabinets that came with my signals from Atlas. I did go ahead and add some electrical conduits and rusted them up on the side just to give it a little bit of character. And here's the fence, and I think you can see the rust a little bit better along the fencing here. And some more vinage along the base of the retaining wall, and greenery and shrubs, and even some goldenrod I see peeking in there. So this is the other side of the access road. So the other thing I wanted to show that I did along the length of the retaining wall is graffiti. Tried my hand at graffiti here. Never done it before. So I did some decals and also did some drawing, which I hadn't done in a while. So that goes down the whole length of the retaining wall. Still sitting on it a little bit, but I think it came out pretty good. Once again, all the vinage at the base. And the crazy thing about all this is it's going to be in the farther end of the layout, so I don't even know how much of it's going to be seen, but You know, pictures and video catches anything and everything that you have on your layout. I don't know if you can see here on the fence, there's a section that I actually cut out for the bad people that try to get into railroad property right there. On the third panel to the right, maybe you can see that, I hope. So yeah, this section is definitely coming a long way. There's that access road again from that angle. So yeah, now on to the section of this that was a pain in my you-know-what. Just a minute. We'll be right back with that. Okay, before I move on to the next section, I just wanted to show another angle here, the retaining wall. I did want to say, since this was my first try at graffiti, I kind of did it a little sparse. In most areas where there is graffiti, you're going to see a lot more. So as time goes, I will add more to this. I apologize for the track having boards and things. That's how I climb up on it. And eventually I'm not going to be able to do that. That's why I'm starting from the back of the layout and moving forward. Even have some on these bridge piers. All right, so now let me move on to the last section that I worked on in this segment. Be right back. All right, so here we are with the finished product. This was not supposed to be the focal point of this particular project, but it actually makes the scene. I'm pretty okay with this. Turned out a lot better than I thought it would. I think I'm going to leave it alone for now. But what I did was added joint spackle for the mortar. I also did some weathering with some washes to create some runoff with the water staining. Added some growth, vines, molding, stuff like that. For the growth that is caused by water over a period of time, getting into the crevices and cracks and corners and all of that. And as I also said, I added the Pennsylvania Railroad fencing, and in just a minute I'll take a closer look at that. That was a little bit finicky this time, specifically one stanchion that did not want to hold with the glue, so it took me a while to get that going, but I think it was overall worth the time and effort. So I'm going to take the camera off of the tripod and let you see a closer look at the fencing. Alright, here's a closer look at the fencing. Just sprayed it with some flat black spray paint, and then did a little rusting. It actually looks a lot lighter on this camera than it does in person. It almost looks kind of pinkish in some spots, but it's really darker. But that just makes me want to go back and do something to darken it up even for the camera, which I probably will do. As you see, there are some sections that are broken, not completely together. I wanted to do that for a more realistic look. But yeah, there's one in the back that it took me about 45 minutes to get it to not move and stay glued. Track is laid, trains can run, but I have not yet ballasted. That, as you can see, but I will at some point. Just when that happens, I don't want to be having to remove the bridge for, you know, as regularly as I have been lately. So I'm just gonna hold off till I'm kind of finished back here. So I think what I'm gonna do at this point is turn the train on and watch a train come through the area that I just completed in this update. So I'll be right back with my switcher coming through.